Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to untack a wrap today. Or remove the wrap from the board, if you will. So take one tack out there. Don't want to dry too much because then you can't get it off the board. You know what I mean? There it is. I'll turn a little bit that way. Maybe that'll help. Wasn't going to buy more of these tacks today, but decided to get some all predator bait from Trapper J to put out front of the trail camera at my dad's work. Just see if we can bring the bobcat in just for fun, get it on camera. Ended up buying 5 or 6 8-ounce containers of his all predator bait. So not the worst thing in the world, but when I take them out, I twist and pull. I think that's part of the reason why they pop out, or it's been used so much that the metal comes out of the tack head. It's supposed to be metal tacks, it's supposed to be real durable, but sometimes they just don't cooperate. And the metal pulls out of the tack head. Oops, dropped that one. See, we're going to see how easy this is. Get this guy off the board. I think it's kind of going to be a pain, but we'll see. Got the dowel here, 3/8 inch dowel. Move that around a little bit. To the right, to the left. Without causing any problems, pull it out. It should come off semi-easy. This is a 4-foot dowel. Hopefully it comes off uneasy, which, there we go, it's starting to slide off. Right there. I grab my finger up in here to the side, the thicker side where there's no cuts, and pull, and it comes right off the board. So the dowel makes a huge difference. I was using rebar. The rebar worked, but the dowel makes a difference. This is where the big gash was from the trap. Let's put this a little lower here so you guys aren't in the light, without the floodlight in the back of the garage light. There's a mark right there, as you can see. Big old gash from the 280 Duke. This is why people talk about fur damage with animals. Although 280 is big for a rat, the fur damage is when the dog slices into it. This was sliced this big. There's a big slice like that when you watch my other video. But this little, there's only a 1/4 inch hole that penetrated into the gut. So it killed him instantly. Killed him, snapped his neck, penetrated the gut, and killed him. So, yeah, when I get this back from the tannery, the hole is not going to be that little hole. It's going to be about that wide. That can't help that. Put a tiny hole up here by the face when I double cut the eye a little bit. I cut the eye, went down a little further, and nicked it with a triangular blade. So that's messed up. Cut the ear a little big, but this ear is fine. See, slipped up a little here around the chin. Their leg here is fine. Leg there's fine. There's a slight bit of fat on here, which is not too bad. I'll be right back. Let me grab a towel. A clean one, not the one, obviously not the one with bleach on it, because if you do it with the one with bleach on it, that's no good for the pelt. Get a little of this fat here, rub it around a bit, dry it out. Dry the fat out a bit. Dry the fat down here a bit. You just scrub it a bit, being careful you don't rip it, but this is just a shop towel, so it has little beads on all over it, so it's not the worst case scenario. Now there's a hole there, so you gotta be careful, but anywhere there's fat, just kind of sit here and work it a little bit. Just go with 2 fingers, go back and forth. Like if you're a detail on a car, you can go circle or back and forth. I go back and forth, or up and down in other words, and it cleaned that spot right off there, right there, cleaned it off pretty well. Turn it over a bit. Really no extra fat on the back. The back's real clean. Right there, it's real clean. Just on the underside that needs a little work. Try to get the light here where I can see it. So a little more right here. Not much work needed. It's just a bit greasy there. You see the little fats coming off. So a little work here. We can go in circles if it's not coming off as easy, which is not that big of a deal. Just be gentle with it, because this is the belly side, and it is a bit thin. Well, the pelt's not thin, the animal's guts, the belly's thin, so you just got to be careful, and you don't want to damage the pelt. Do a little bit of that. A little on the other side here. Clean that up a bit. Circular motions and up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, circular. So, like this, in spots, and then it circles sometimes. So, around and up and down, up and down, up and down. So I go up and down, around, up and down, around. Should get some of the fat off there. We'll get some of the fat off here. Down around the ass, or the butthole. I don't want to say the a-hole word, because I got kids that watch, and try not to curse too much on here. Even though I curse like a sailor, so I try not to, I try not to, let it fly too much. The saying goes, you curse like a sailor, but I curse, man. I look at it as, I'm not a kid anymore, so I can't curse, but I really shouldn't. Not a good look, but. So, that pelt is decently clean. Any marks on here that had a little bit of fat left over. Usually this is only dried for a day. So I sit here and work it. Get all the grease off. As you tell, it's coming off a bit. Down by the butt, down by the tail, a little bit. I could take this and trim this up real neat. I could trim this real neat along there, trim the edge there, make it real neat. I'm not selling these. I want as much fur on these as possible, because when I get them back, I like looking at the fur. I'm not selling them, so I prefer all the fur being on there, just because it looks better for me, I think. But it's just personal preference. If I was gonna sell these market, I'd, instead of keeping these right here, real vividly wild, I'll trim it there. I'll trim this rounded, and then trim this side a little bit here, and make it look real neat, so there's no extra fur hanging off. You see the fur ends there, make it real neat. It's on the board. It was on the board straight, so this what I'll do here is trim this rounded, so make it more rounded here, make it real uniform. Trim this off. Take this tab off. This tab right here, from when I went under there with my fingers and lifted it up, moved around, put my hand through, and then popped it off, popped a little bit, then cut down the tail. So I have that much of the tail skin on there. There's actually tail skin here. The little, you can see right there, there's the fur, and that little black tip right there. Right there is tail. That's actual leather of the tail. Fur, leather of the tail. So I leave a little leather of the tail on there. That's the way I like it. Try to do that just to keep it neat. Yeah. It's that's the way I do it. I learned that from another person, so there's a little bit of fat here. So this is below the butthole here, kind of where the balls were. Move it around. Don't want to damage the pelt at all. So what I'll do, be gentle moving around. There's that. Got a little bulb, as I call it, a little bubble of fat off. Yeah, so touch up here a little bit around the legs. You don't have to skin or flesh with a knife. You can just go after like I do after this. If you're doing a ton, you can probably flesh them, but you can go like this, or even this might be even easier. Just go around the circle and get some of the fat off this way. Some of the fat will hang on there, but it's all right. Get it off the best you can. And that's all I do. The little knotty parts of the shop towel, just a white shop towel, helps get some of that extra fatty bits off. Sometimes when you do that, you can pull little bits off. There's gonna be little stragglers, but that's all right. When this comes back from the tannery, it's gonna be just fine. So it's the way I like doing it. A little bit of fat on this leg. So I just pull the leg aside, go back and forth, try not to rip a hole in it. There's the leg. A little bit of pressure, you know, a little bit of pressure on there. So the legs come up like that. You see that? See right there on the bottom of the camera? Legs come up. So this leg can come up too. Depends where you cut it. Pop the leg up like that, real high. Second leg, first leg. Let them dry like that. I know people talk about popping the legs through the other way. When you want to make it look nice, take a knot, a fish line, and pop it through the other way. I'm not too worried about that. I don't mind them popping in like that. If I wanted to pop the legs out the other way, I would, but I'm not too worried about that when they dry and they get tanned. I'm not too picky on that. So let's leave that like that. Stick them up like that. Pull them up and let them dry naturally. Since it's off the board now, some people tack them real tight. If you tack them real tight, there's a pocket of air under there. So I just don't tack the legs. On the beaver, I'll tack the legs sometimes. I just tack them shut. Some people will tack the leg and overlap it over the fat. You don't want to do that. Over the skin, don't want to do that because it leaves a pocket and it never dries. With the beavers, there'll be a hole like this. Sometimes I'll tack it shut and that's it. And I'll be fine. Sometimes you see us take the beaver leg and pop it over and just over about a hair and tack it. So it looks like it's over the fat, over the pelt, but it's not. So what you do is you'd have a hole. Sometimes it's loose, so you take this end, the hole's like this, take this end, tack it just barely over this end and shut the hole. And then tack, boom, boom, boom. 3 tacks will hold it shut. Or you can take 6 or 7 tacks and close it like this versus taking one end and pulling it over the other end and shut and tacking it. So basically, if there's a hole, right? You can take this end, pull it over and tack here, pull over and tack, or you can close it like this and tack all the way around and pull, tack, pull, till it's shut. Or you can pull one end, tack it over, pull, like I said, how am I going to word this? So if there's a hole, take one and tack, pull it over, tack, pull it over, tack, pull it over, tack. 3 tacks to hold it like that. So one flapper's over the other side. Now hold it. You can do that, or you can take it and close it. One tack here, one tack there, one tack there, one tack there. From here, there, and close the hole from each tack mark. Take 8 tacks instead of 3, and just close it like this. Versus pulling one end and folding it over the other. Not far over the other because it won't dry. Just enough till it covers it and tack it that way. So there's a couple ways you can tack the legs. If you fold it over, it's not going to dry as well. So if you just tack one, pull it in, tack, pull it side and tack, pull it in, tack, pull it in, tack, pull it in, tack. You got to dry better. But that's just a couple different ways you can do the beaver. I'll explain that when we have a beaver, which will come this January. There's no doubt in my mind we're going to get a beaver. There's plenty of sign down there where we are. I'll put $1,000 down right now if someone would award bet me, if they're here, put $1,000 that we're going to get a beaver. No problem in my mind. I'm in one spot, same spot as last year where we pulled 14 out of. It's a micro swamp, tiny little swamp. I guarantee we'll pull a beaver out here because we have sign there right now. And they're all going to be in conibears. We don't put leg holes there. Conibears everywhere. So that's kind of what I'm doing there. That's how you can finish the legs up a bit. Just work on the legs a little bit here. Pull them up, like I said. So if you take the leg, take this leg, see this? With a beaver, you can tack it over. I think you'll see that, right? Take it, tack it over. But just enough to cover it. Or you can take it and close it like that versus folding it over and tacking. So there's positives and negatives. Positive, folding over and tacking is quick. Closing them like this, like sucks or tightening down your hoodie, tightening it down like that is good because it dries quick. But if you fold it over to the edge, there's some folded meat there or pelt, so it doesn't dry as quick. So if you want to be quick, you can do that, or you can do it right and just kind of crunch it all down with tack here, slide in, tack, pierce, tack, pierce, tack, pierce, tack, pierce, pull, and tack. So it's basically when I say pierce, tack, you pierce it, pull, and tack shut. Pierce, pull, tack shut. All angles you can do that, or you can just take one, fold it over, just cover it. I said this a couple times, but just enough to cover that much of it and tack it. One more tack, one more tack. So there's 3 covering it, and maybe one in the where it folds over, but that's about it. That's a quick way. It's not the best. There's positives and negatives of both. It's just the way you gotta do it, and I'll show that. Like I said, I'll show that more later. I got interrupted. Someone opened the door and got interrupted. So I'll show how I do the legs and the beaver different time. With the beaver, we do it on boards and we do it with nails instead of tacks. With a tube skin, we usually do it with tacks. First couple I had to do with nails because I couldn't find these tacks. So there's that. And I'm going to get more of these tacks because they're starting to fall apart. After you use them a while, the spear points or the actual metal tack comes out of the head. So after a while, they wear out. I'll get more of these. That was nasty. Pardon me. Ugh. That was real gross. But attack. Ugh. That was nasty. You heard me stop talking there for me. I had to stop it. Puked a little bit in my mouth. Nope. It's the stuff I've been eating, like this garbage. Just drank soda. Just got done clamming. Walked up and down the beach. So a bunch of exercise. This junk I've been eating. So I puked in my mouth a little bit. Sorry about the pause. Tacks are good. They just fall apart once in a while. Some stores sell metal push pins with, instead of the metal head, they just have like a wire loop like this and you just push them in. The loop goes like this and down, so you just tack it in. It's all metal, so the heads don't pop off. A little bit more, some stores sell them. I think Funky's Trap Tag sells them, so that's another option. The face here, when I did the face, I missed a little bit of the, cheek, which honestly wasn't too bad because it turned out not all the worst. The cheek would have been right here. Just a little, see how this comes down? That little bit, like, if you look at it, just a little bit here. The sliver came off here, in here. This little sliver came off here. Not that big of a deal, a little corner piece. It still looks fine. From what I understand, they don't use a lot of the cheeks necessarily on the muskrat when they, if you were to sell them. So the cheeks is not the worst case scenario if you miss them, but it is important to look nice so you get a better grading overall off the looks. But utilizing it, it's not that big of a deal. But always have the cheeks on there. Do your best job you can. If you want the best quality, you got to do the best you can. So, like I said, these are personal use. I want the pelts. The pelts, I want to save all the pelts so I can get someone to make vests out of them, the beaver pelts and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to get garments made out of them. So that being said, I just want the pelts. I'm not selling anything. I don't make my money trapping. Let's put it that way. So, what else is there? Now we're up to 7 animals. And we aren't actively trapping. These are just blockages to prevent animals from coming and going into the property because we don't want them in there. This is a damage control job at a private property. So there's a couple traps right in the entrance. There's a couple traps up in the forest. A little bit, not forest, but up the creek a little bit. This one was actually up the creek, come down the property. He was up on the property. This is 600 something acre golf course, 500 maybe acre golf course. Well, what is it? It's 2 different golf courses with 18 holes each. My dad I think says 385, 400 acres. So there's a lot of property there. And we don't want them coming in. We don't want them eating the fish, the otters. We don't want the minks eating the fish. We don't want damage, undercut banks. We've gotten approval from the course and the owners to get rid of them. So we put a blockage in. 280 in the main channel, 160 in the off channel. A couple 280s up in the channel. A couple 220s up in the different lakes up there. So we're trying to prevent anything from being in there. Come January, after Christmas, our actual line, our actual beaver trapping, muskrat trapping, everything's going out. We're gonna have a whole pack there with dozens of traps going out. I have dozens of other traps that are gonna go out. Probably we're gonna load the crap out of the swamp over here, set the heck out of it. We're gonna catch a lot more animals. This is just fooling around trapping right now. This is fooling around. It's not the ideal for us. I would consider this part the child's play part. After January, or during January, after Christmas, we would be taking it a lot more serious and we'll be doing stuff absolutely serious. So this is kind of for fun right now. So I know some of you are like, well, when are you gonna actually trap this and that? It's coming. We've had some stuff that got in the way a little bit. Work and stuff that's gotten in the way for my family. So we had to put it off a little bit this year. Normally we would already be trapping hardcore, but business got in the way. Took a lot of time off deer hunting this year. So they had to take a break. So they had to go back to work and work a little bit. They couldn't take enough more time off to go trapping. So after Christmas, January time, we're going out. We're even gonna get some money together, go way far away out, up in the forest way up there where we caught the otters and everything. So that's where we're going. We also have the micro swamp here, so we're gonna go full bore after Christmas. So hang in there, guys. I'm just bringing this stuff to you while I can. This is at my dad's work. These are being caught, so I don't have access to it. So I can't go out there and be like, hey guys, look at this set. This is one we're putting in here or there. It's just what we have. So it's just, you just gotta bear with me while I show you what I can show you. And this is what I can show you for now. Once I go out there, you're gonna see the sets. You're gonna see them made. You're gonna see the catches. You're gonna see a lot more stuff. So just bear with me. All right, guys, have a good one. Thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, smash that thumbs up button, as they say. Smash that thumbs up button, and share it out there. Have a good one. Thanks, guys.